moving forward together. That is my hope in this devotion for you today, that you're going to be able to move forward, and you're going to be able to move forward by faith in Jesus, the hope in His promises, the hope in living His truth, and certainly in love. We've been going through the book of John as we've been getting together over the last couple months, in fact, and I want to continue to go through the Gospel of John. And after we see Jesus feed the multitudes with just a few pieces of fish and a few pieces of bread, all of a sudden you see Jesus walking on water. A lot of us are perhaps familiar with this. If you're not familiar with it, right, the disciples, after this long day of being with the crowds, of feeding all these people, they're tired, Jesus is tired. Jesus goes off to pray. He sends the disciples ahead of him over the sea, saying, I'll meet you over there. And then they're out in the middle of the lake. A huge storm comes up. They're panicking in the middle of the night with waves everywhere and the wind's blowing against them. And all of a sudden they see somebody walking on water and they think it's a ghost. And all of a sudden they realize it's Jesus. And I love that Jesus is walking on water in the middle of a storm. I love it that He's in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the night, on huge waves. Right? What does it tell us about Jesus? It tells us that He is Lord of all, and He rises above the storms and always shows up in the darkness and doesn't make it easy on Himself or easy on us. It's always in the crisis moment that He is there and He is above that moment. And I think for a lot of us, as I say crisis moment, some of us are experiencing some crises, some trials. Maybe it's not a big, huge thing, but it's just something in a moment, right, that gets the best of us and kind of sucks life out of us and brings fear, right, in us. But the question is, in that moment, right, where is Jesus? Where is Jesus? Right? And do we see Him where He truly is? Right? Where is He? He's walking on top of that storm in the middle. Right? His light is shining in the darkness, that we would be able to see Him, and as we see Him, right, that He would remove fear from us and allow us just to trust in Him, to have faith in Him. I love it. It's not in the Gospel of John, right? It's in the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus says, hey Peter, come out and walk with me. Not let me calm the seas, not let me have the sun come up, not let us go to the shoreline where it's only 6 inches deep, but actually come out and walk with me in the middle of the lake, in the middle of the night, on these waves. And Peter does take a couple steps. Right? What a huge moment for many of us. God's calling us to get out of the boat in the middle of fear with our eyes on Jesus. What happens with Peter? It happens with us so much, right? We get out of the boat, we take a couple steps by faith, but then our eyes get off of Jesus again, and all of a sudden we're on the storm, and then we begin to sink. But I love it that Jesus is right there picking us up, getting us right back above the waves with Him. I don't know what's going on in your world today, but I want to remind you and myself, Jesus is walking above all the trials, all the crises. He's in the middle of the darkness, and He's inviting us to get on top of the waves in the middle of the storm. He's not taking the storm away. He's inviting us to walk by faith in Him and courage. So I don't know what that looks like in your life, but I know Jesus does, and I pray that you hear His voice and you sense His leading, you see His hand reaching out to you in the middle of the storm, in the middle of our lives, and that you take that step by faith this week. God bless, and we hope your week is great, and we hope that we'll see you again online here through the ministries of Trinity.